Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang channel. Thanks for joining me once again. Today, I am going to dive on in and take a first look at Prepared, the expanded collection of one shot adventures for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons from my friends over at Kobold Press. This is written by John Sawatsky, and this 128-page hardcover is making its way into stores right now. It carries an MSRP of $39.99, or you can grab just the PDF alone over at DriveThruRPG for $19.99. So let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Prepared. A few things I do want to mention before we jump on in. First of all, the fine folks over at Kobold Press were kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the Gaming Gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this coverage with you. These days, it's important that you know that. Also, we're not going to dive in and look at each and every page of this book, but I do want to give you a very good feel for what you're going to find within Prepared, the expanded collection. Lastly, these are all adventures. So if you're a player hoping that your game master is going to pick up Prepared, or maybe they already have ordered it or gotten the PDF, you probably want to tune out now. Even though I know nothing about the adventures in this book, there's probably going to be some spoilers along the way as we're flipping on through. And you don't want any of the surprises ruined simply because you are watching this first look video. Now, that said, you probably want to let your game master know about this video so they can take a peek and see if Prepared might be something they'd be interested in. All right, so let's take a look at the back here. So your players went on a tangent. Never fear. The Prepared Expanded Collection offers short one-shot adventures to keep the game rolling and players entertained while you figure out your next move. Inside, you'll find 31 easy prep adventures for every environment, ranging from levels 1 through 15, ready to use in any fantasy campaign setting. This collection includes 12 adventures originally published in Prepared, 12 adventures originally published in Prepared 2, 6 brand new adventures never before seen in print. So I'll take a guess they were available digitally. And a brand new adventure created specifically for this collection. Also, we've got full color maps, fantastic scenarios, memorable NPCs, and much more. Never be caught without a plot again. All right, so let's jump on in. So what I'm going to look to do is take a peek at each of the adventures and see if we can find a little bit of a synopsis or breakdown to give you a better feel for what the adventure is about. So let's take a look. We've got some various artists here. That's one of the things I always love about Kobold Press. Their artwork is always top notch. In fact, production quality for Kobold Press is always really, really excellent. And I feel that as far as like third-party content creators for Dungeons and Dragons, Kobold Press is either the top or right at the top as far as what I've seen out there. So we've got 31 adventures in total. So first we have 8 Faces of Bayabzu. Yeah, get ready. You already know I like to mispronounce fictional people, places, and things. So I'll be doing that all throughout this book, I'm sure. So let's see what we've got cooking. Let's take a look at the background. 10 years ago, a handful of villagers discovered Biabzu performing rites to honor a dreadful sea god. Convinced her worship was depleting the village's fishing grounds, they drowned her in the nearby tidal pools. Oh, I'm sure that's not going to work out well. Today, the village is beset by slime creatures that have ruined its fishing grounds and imperiled its residents. Well, there you go. There you have it. The PCs arrive and are hired by the village elder to investigate. So that's our first adventure. I'm going to take a guess. These adventures are going to clock in maybe 4 or 5 pages on average. So now we've got the impregnable fortress of Dib. So this is another first level adventure. Several months back, Dib Halfling Chewer, that's an interesting name, and his cronies were ejected from a nearby goblin clan for indiscriminate wrestling. Their antics, though hilariously entertaining to themselves, were destructive and dangerous to the rest of the clan. The goblins spent several nights in the wilderness before discovering an abandoned wagon by the side of a trade road. There, the homeless cadre transformed the wagon into a distinctly goblinoid fortress. They've had some success in assaulting and looting travelers on the road. So I would think, obviously enough, this is probably something that your player characters will stumble across in their travels. Oh, that's kind of cool. Artwork there. Oh, looks like we've got a couple of adventures with Dib Halfling Chewer. Because now we have Dib's Wagon of Doom. It's for second level characters. The nefarious master wrestler Dib the Goblin is terrorizing the streets of the town or city. Since his defeat in his roadside fortress, the would-be chieftain has plotted his revenge. Gathering to him a new batch of dim minions, Dib has transformed a stolen merchant wagon into a machine of war. The wagon is powered by several goblins inside who, while devoted to Dib, lack the strength to pedal the thing quickly or consistently. I'm picturing this. This is pretty funny. In fact, that's what's on the cover here. I think this is supposed to be Dib's war wagon. So let's see. Dib's plan to spread havoc through the streets has resulted in something a bit more disappointing. It says in this lighthearted and quirky adventure, the PCs must confront the war wagon, gain entry to it, and defeat its defenders. The lives of several potted plants and a few market stalls depend on it. It's kind of cool. It's not taking itself too seriously. Next, we've got a Starry Breach for second or third level. The party arrives at an abandoned outpost in a frozen landscape. The outpost appears to have suffered some strange attack. A half-mad scholar from a distant city hides within. He was drawn to the region by his visions of a breach in the nearby ice. A breach he believes leads to the realms beyond the stars. Heading east, the party finds that the breach is no simple chasm, and its skilled guardian does not appreciate its work being interrupted. In this frozen and otherworldly adventure, the PCs must overcome tiny insects, avoid dragon wormling, and the pull of the breach itself. That's nice. Disposal into darkness. This is for second or third level as well. Just outside a large city, the Temple of Infinite Cleansing and Boundless Miracles provides divine magical services to those in need. The temple provides these services for a much smaller fee than is typical, so it sees a large number of visitors each day. Some locals suggest the temple is responsible for the strange corruption around its premises, a corruption spreading north more and more each year. City politicians and leaders are unwilling to hear this suggestion, as traffic to the temple provides trade and coin in the city. When the PCs are hired to haul a box containing spiritual waste, whatever that might be, into the temple's subterranean heap, the truth is revealed. So I wonder if we have a bestiary at the end, or if our bestiary is included in the adventures. We have Yipping Retreat, also for second or third level. It's been 3 months since the ambitious kobold Taglo Zide assaulted the Pirates Tavern, formerly known as the Singed Parrot. In that time, the collector of junk and promises has transformed the rum-soaked port into a resort of sorts. The newly named Yipping Retreat is a chaotic mix of kobold warren, rentable layers, and enslaved pirates mingling in the hope of turning profit. Naturally, such a place has brought dangers to the area. Local communities want the retreat destroyed, while criminals, monstrosities, and evildoers of all stripes enjoy the instability that it brings to the region. Adventurers looking to make a name for themselves would do well to shut the place down. Dib's back. Beast of Dib. Briarskin, the gentle necromancer, knew it was a mistake to hire goblins. Never again. The goblin's leader, Dib Halfling Chewer, spun her a magnificent tale of spies keeping an eye on pesky neighbors, of goblin cunning being at her command. So she betrayed her instincts and hired this shabby band, inviting them into her thorny lair, where her whims were served by unquestioning undead. Therein, she had just created her latest and greatest treasure, a war machine powered by a bound fire elemental. Maybe that's the war machine that's on the cover. And intended to use the contraption to bring her neighbors to their knees. Alas, Dib has a weak spot for such devices. As soon as he saw it, he had to have it and was already planning to steal it. Obviously, I guess he's stolen it, and the player characters are going to try to retrieve it. We've got the Ooze Tomb of the Oathbreaker for third and fourth level characters. A small band of centaurs has seen their water source fouled by unknown magic. When word of their plight reaches the PCs, they embark on a day's travel to the centaur camp. Along the way, they encounter injured wildlife and panicked bugbears. Terrifying storms beset the region, raining down acid and ooze. Agreeing to investigate the small corrupted lake, the adventurers discover a long buried evil has awakened, bringing with it oozing undead. So far, these adventures sound like they'll be fun. They're not taking themselves too seriously, although that last one might be fairly serious. So we have Procession. This is for third or fourth level characters. It is a time for the Fey inhabitants of Drywood to awaken the caretaker of their forest to make it safe from seasonal wildfires. Each year at the beginning of summer, representatives from the Fey community send delegations to take part in an event they call Procession. During this time, the delegates sing and dance and engage in revelry while walking the winding path to their patron's home. Provided the procession is adequately boisterous, the old bear awakens and summons torrential rains to soak the forest. Well, I'm sure something has suddenly gone wrong and probably needs the assistance of the player characters. So we got Assault of the Steel Horde. It's for fourth or fifth level. The earth churns in a city graveyard, revealing not undead, but an ancient war machine. Is Dib showing up? It's a war machine. Dib's got to be part of this, right? A great iron transport bores its way from depths below, disrupting funeral rites and sending the citizens into a panic. With an opportunity to investigate and reap the rewards of bravery, the party closes on the graveyard. There, they discover that the pilots of the strange vehicle are soulless automatons. Well, guess it's not Dib, who have spent an eternity burrowing towards the battlefront of a long forgotten war. In this action packed and gritty adventure, the PCs must battle automatons, breach the iron transport, and put down its mad and malfunctioning commander. ATM Gate? I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced. This is for fourth or fifth level characters. Once the forest was protected by a powerful druid, Jermud. For centuries, Jermud tended the forest and kept its greatest secret safe from outsiders. At the heart of this forest was a gate, thought to be left behind by celestials in an era not even the tallest trees could recall. The druid called the artifact Atium, an old elvish word meaning abandoned. So the gate has been revealed, it looks like. So people have found the gate, or something has found the gate. Here we have the Claret Wellspring. This is for 4th or 5th level characters. Strange lights in the desert lead the PCs to a long forgotten oasis. Traveling toward the lights, the PCs are threatened by magic so old that it defies characterization. Arriving at the withered shore of a blood colored pool, the PCs discover an ancient dial and three tooth like columns rising from the ground. Turning the dial results in the water being magically siphoned into the cavities within the columns. If the pool is emptied, a small door is revealed in the crimson stained muck. The party must defeat a blood infused water elemental before proceeding. Neither by sail nor by oar for 5th and 6th level characters. The PCs arrange for passage on a fast ship called the Silver Slipper. The good Captain Sarah agrees to take them aboard for a reasonable fee. The voyage, however, is marred by strange events, and the crew begin whispering about a dark statue taken aboard as cargo. The statue is to be delivered to a port beyond the PC's destination. When a fog rolls in one night, the ship is attacked by evil agents of a dark god come to claim the statue. In this nautical nightmare, the PCs must travel aboard the ship, interact with the crew, and save themselves from a boarding party of eldritch evil. Nice. I would assume that as the adventures move to higher levels, they're probably a little less humorous, a little more serious, such as this past one we were just looking at. We have Void Walker, which is for 5th or 6th level. A great threat lopes towards a small city at the edge of a wasteland. One of the leviathans of the wasteland, a gigantic, malevolent creature known locally as a walker, appears to be on a course directly through the city. The PCs are called to heroism by the city council, who have learned that the walker is being directed by a foul Dracul, who has gained control of the creature and directs it from atop its shoulders. Scouts have discovered a portal used by the ghoul to transport atop the walker. With a hastily scrawled map, the party must navigate the hills to locate the magical doorway. And obviously, defeat the Dracul. Raising of Grumelo? For centuries, the monastery of Grumelo has offered a place for martial training and reflection to the communities around it. The Order of Wings has led the monastery since its establishment, and this small council of elders routinely sends the monks out to assist the local populations as needed. At the heart of the monastery is a bundle of feathers from a legendary bird that imbues the elder monks with various magical abilities, including limited flight. Recently, the artifact has drawn the attention of a ruthless warlord named Eclipse, who plots to steal the feathers for his hoard. When the PCs learn that the monastery is under attack, they are implored to rush to its defense. Guided by a messenger monk, the party travels a secret path to reach the monastery quickly, where fire, violence, and foes await them. Got Room with Five Corners for 6th and 7th level characters. The Untamed are a street gang in a busy city. Recent change in leadership has transformed the members from pickpockets and second-story thieves into kidnappers for an interdimensional aberration named, I am not even going to try to pronounce that. Their hideout is now a strange and wicked factory, capable of extracting the firm essence from a humanoid in a process that leaves the victim partly ethereal and casting no shadow. Though most victims die during the procedure, those who survive are conscripted into the gang. The extracted essence is crated and shipped to the aberration's home plane through a breach between worlds in the hideout's back room. Then we got Upon the Icebound Terrace for 6th or 7th level characters. Orthoas, the exceptional ice mephit, and his foul underlings have uncovered a powerful relic at the entry to ancient ruins. The monstrous mephits seek to crack a hole between the material plane and their icy home world. Oh, it's Oithoris. I don't know. Come on. I mispronounce all this stuff. Oithoius? That's my stab. There's no R. I thought the I was an R. Plots to lead an army of elemental lackeys and conquer the civilized outposts of the north. This ice mephit has studied the machine and is confident he can open a gateway to the elemental plane of ice. PCs are approached by a frostbitten traveler who pleads with them to assault the terrace. The adventurers must mount an attack against Mephits, contend with an unintentionally summoned young white dragon, and defeat upon the icebound terrace. Oh, that's only a few pages long, like 3 pages. In its horrid wake, for 7th level characters, a colossal demon has trod upon a sandy temple. Following closely behind, gnolls and hyenas slay all living things that cross their path. PCs discover a grisly sight when they investigate. A pack of gnolls is finishing the ritual to summon a servant of their god. They have readied a great gift, the temple's sacred scythe, in preparation of its arrival. PCs must carve a path through hyenas and gnolls to reclaim the temple before facing it and its newly acquired prize. Dun, dun, dun. Dark Knight at the Odium. This is for 7th or 8th level. A powerful evil plots to corrupt the Fey audience that attends a performance as priests pose as performers to set the stage for their master's arrival in the final act. Well, well, well. Looks like there's a few different acts to that. Relatively short, though. A bad night for betting for 8th or 9th level characters. Bleak Rock is a small village at the edge of civilization, the last outpost before a massive mountain range. Its remote setting attracts those wishing to hide or escape. Trade with a nearby dwarven city has kept the village on the map. Metal goods from the dwarves travel through before being sold in the markets of major centers. While staying in Bleak Rock overnight, the PCs are invited to attend the town's only source of entertainment, dog mole fighting. The night's fights go awry when the animals' owners feed their fighters an alchemical concoction sold to them by an unscrupulous merchant. During the fight, the animals become magically enhanced, and the shallow fighting pit cannot contain their fury. When the town residents are threatened by the rampaging critters, the PCs must contend not only with the maddened dog moles, but also their owners, who refuse to let their prize fighters be put down. Well, that's what you get for having animals fight. Sparking Spire for 8th or 9th level. The spire has existed for as long as locals can remember. Rising above the sand or the ocean, the spire is topped by a natural cave system. Stories about the place circulate around the docks and taverns of the nearby towns. Dark tales of ritual sacrifice and the worship of long dead gods of lightning and storm. Many claim the victims of the old cult still crawl through the tunnels, accessible at the peak of the spire. Others say a new scaly threat now layers there, and the storms of late have been most violent near that place. In this explorative and perilous adventure, the PCs ascend a great rocky spire to face the place's past and the blue dragon currently in residence. Yeah, I figured it was going to be a dragon. We also have the Tangled Temple, 8th or 9th level characters. While traveling through a jungle expanse, the players meet a traveler named Smira who relays a strange tale. Turned away from a nearby outpost, the trader is now heading back to civilization. Curiosity leads the party to the outpost, which has been destroyed. A strange disease has taken the outpost's inhabitants, who built the place in support of a scholarly excavation of a nearby temple ruin. Following the path carved through the jungle by the excavation team, the PCs find the temple and its secrets. In this moss-covered and dark adventure, the PCs explore an old temple, face its verdant guardians, and find the source of the strange disease. Got Burning Crater for 9th or 10th level characters. In a remote mountain range, a clan of fire giants prepares for war. The plains at the base of the mountains host a number of human communities. The recent heavy smoke from the giant's forges marks their manufacture of a terrible new weapon, Hellshot. A single large metal sphere of Hellshot launched from an arcane cannon can strike targets several miles away. The impact of these dread munitions is only the initial threat, though, for hellhounds have been packed into hollow space within, merging when the sphere lands, along with a toxic gas. The giants now test their new weapon with mixed results. We got the Valley of Black Tears, 10th or 11th level characters. An evil oracular being has taken up residence in a lonely valley. The only access to the valley is through a thick, dead wood where shadows draw out foul memories for those who travel within. The oracle, Luranax, has divined the season in which the world will end. This knowledge is greatly prized by many, so the evil fortune teller hides in his lair, protected by maddening winds and the souls of those he slew to obtain his knowledge. In this grim and dark adventure, the PCs must travel the trail of shadows, face the manifestations of Luranax's victims, and finally meet the evil oracle himself. A shroud for Aganantha, a bargain struck between a dwarf chieftain and a great divine power forms the heart of this adventure. The chieftain, unwilling to step down from her position as ruler, seeks a way to hide from the god. When the party rescues some of her kin, they are offered riches for recovering a long lost magical shroud with the power to obscure mortals from the eyes of the gods. But recovering the shroud draws the attention of the gods' agents, and the party must choose a side. In this storied and fate filled adventure, the party must battle their way through a ruined dwarven armory before deciding the fate of the chieftain. Pay up, you owe. You made a deal. Atop the mountain for 11th level characters, a planetar rests at the top of a mountain. A veteran of an ancient war against the Hells and a champion to a god long forgotten, sleep has transformed her into a radiant fountain, which now serves as a place of reflection for good aligned clerics. One such cleric has returned from the mountain with an unsettling tale. The fountain's waters are spoiling, and strange magics hover visibly near the holy place. In truth, a host of devils plots to corrupt the fountain and claim the planetar as a servant of an unnamed archdevil. Arriving atop the mountain, the PCs must battle through crumbling pillars, repel the devilish corruption, and prevent the planetar's dark awakening. Under Reveler's Feet, we're coming to the end of the book. Maybe 3 more adventures, I'm guessing. This is for 12th or 13th level. Queen Gallo, on the eve of her victory over the followers of Dur, decreed at the River's Bend Feast Hall. Feast Hall, by a swiftly moving river, has hosted 6 weeks of continued celebration. The owner of the hall, Johann Bath, is giddy from the riches the feast has brought him and is sincerely doing his best to keep the party going forever. A local monarch's victory over a dangerous group of rebels caused the elated queen to fund a feast without end. The merriment can be heard a mile away. However, the last several days have seen some strange and ominous events occurring at River's Bend. Johann's hired help, responsible for cleaning out the refuse pit under the main hall, have gone missing. Worse, a guest perished mysteriously last night when a fragment of bone erupted from her abdomen. Johann is looking for adventurers to investigate the storeroom and refuse pit and to do what they can to ensure the gold keeps pouring in. Money makes the world go round. Obsidian Pass for 14th or 15th level. A Fey village in an ancient grove has been repelling the aggression of a sorcerer living in the nearby mountain. The village leader, Bussam Bladewreath, is very concerned that the enchanted mirror that the fairies protect will be taken by the sorcerer. The mirror, also known as the Bending Glass, is a powerful artifact made to amplify magic. So it looks as if The players are looking to retrieve that mirror, that glass. Oh, then we get our appendix here. So got some new magic items. I wonder if we get a little bit of a bestiary to wrap up too. So here we have the new magic items. No, we don't. Don't have a bestiary. So the creatures included in these adventures are no doubt in the monster manual or in the various tomes of beasts that are available from Kobold Press. So that is Prepared, the expanded collection of one-shot adventures for 5e D&D. I will have a review of Prepared in the very near future. Pretty cool. 31 little one-shot adventures in here. And just as I kind of thought, they start off a little tongue-in-cheek, a little humorous, and then they seem to get pretty deadly serious as those levels of the player characters increase. Sweet. Very nice. All right, that is it for this time out. If you like the video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that bell because it'll not only let you know when I upload videos such as this first look, it'll also let you know when my live stream, the Gaming Gang Dispatch, airs Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. But of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you will not find here on the YouTube channel. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Thank you very much for taking time out to watch this video. Once again, I'm Jeff McAleer, and until I see you next time, here's hoping you get to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.